You cut the cord, you've got to slow down and give up that time. You cut that corner and got a slow down penalty. Just set your fastest lap of the session.
Will Tam. Set. Hi Alan. Will Tam said, I think your microphone is muted.
Can you hear me? I think now you guys should be able to hear me. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. We're good now, right?
Will Tam said, can hear now but volume is slightly low.
Volume is low. It's on the max here. Let me see. Oh, I know why. Is it better now? It should be better. Just had like some people over the weekend.
Will Tam said,
Okay.
yes. Will Tam said, better.
Thank you, sir. I had some friends over the weekend who wanted to try it. And I got the mic out of the way. Uh-oh. So maybe a bit harder. So that's what I don't want to do. Like, I don't want to go hard on the brakes. I want to go early and like just enough. But I already lost a lot of time.
Will Tam said, I raced this track in advanced Mazdas last week.
How was it? I kind of like the track, not gonna lie.
Will Tam said, a lot of off tracks for me, lol.
Yeah, like I saw in a few places that you have like the patch. Like I think on this exit, right? Not this exit, no. I saw like some places you have the green patch. Like here, you think you can go all the way here, but you can't. I just got enough track, you see. Which is weird. Usually you can use it all. I think this is likely the fastest line, right? But it wasn't appreciated. iRacing here like the GT4s.
Will Tam said, yeah, that corner and second and third corner always off tracks.
Let me see here. Second and third. The chicane, right? So this is how I used to, like, I'm trying to get earlier on the brakes and less. But this is like what I usually do, right? It's like slightly later, even later. I'm not carrying a lot of speed, but at this speed it feels it's okay. But I'm slow, so meaningless. Off track? No off track. Let's do the other way around and see how the track feels. I don't know, like, feels like I've just been a week off. It feels like a month. That's what I don't want to happen. Like, engage the ABS too early. So that 200. Let's find the brake pressure now. Not bad. Yeah, like this middle of the corner gas. Maybe less brakes on the first corner. No. Not ideal, but salvageable. No, a lot of sliding there. I feel like I have to go later on the brakes there, to be honest. Super early here.
The car looks fine. No damage to report.
I thought I had like broken the wheel. It's an off track. Yeah, let's pick up some momentum here.
Slow down. You got a penalty? We're cutting the course.
Let's see like how much I can cut this.
You cut the course. You got to slow down and give up that time.
I think my tires have to be max on top of those things. I cannot like try to avoid them, so let's try one more time. No. Too aggressive. Yeah, too aggressive on the sausage, no bueno. No. Maybe slightly more patient. Too patient, maybe? No, I think it was too hard of a brake on the first one. Let's go to the 250 and less on the brakes. Like this. Okay, I think that's about, like, that's That's kind of the behavior we want. No? Last on the brakes, maybe? So that was a faster entry, slower exit. Slightly more, so like we're 39%, let's see 45%. Or like... Almost. We're just too early. So let's like 43-ish%. Oh no! Still trying to figure it out. So my instinct tells me to go late and hard. The way I drive, I'll do this like.
Paco Chavez.
Hey man, what's up?
Hello.
How's it going? More than crashing, I hate like getting on the like on the wrong side. Maybe right here.
Paco Chavez said, "Pretty good. How are you? It's been a while since I joined the live stream."
Yeah, like I haven't streamed like since last Thursday, to be honest. My parents arrived here and I've just like spent a lot of time with them since then. So it's mostly on me. How have your streams been going? Like if you guys don't know, Ezra's also streams not only the racing stuff, also like, I don't necessarily like random games, but he picks like some good stuff in. Very entertaining, very entertaining. Like,
Paco Chavez said, "Awesome streams are going great."
how are you liking Twitch compared to YouTube?
Paco Chavez said, "I do some indie horror games, Zelda and other games with friends, haha."
Yeah. The one that like you'd hide, that was a fun one. I think it was decent. And I've been like without racing for so long that my shoulder hurts. Okay, let's try to get like a decent lap and push. There was a 57. I don't know like what the... a decent lap time is here. That's like definitely not it, right? This doesn't feel good, right? Man, my shoulder's killing me. Let me see. We're aiming at 51.8.
Will Tam
Good luck.
said, I want to race the GT4S this week, but I'm not sure. LOL.
Virginia?
Will Tam said, will be first time in a GT4 car.
Which car are you racing?
Will Tam said, Porsche.
Like the pickup or like the GT3? Garbage, 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 garbage.
Aco Chavez said, so I've been streaming on both. YouTube is supposed to have better discoverability, but since I don't post a lot of stuff, I don't think that's working very well. Aco Chavez said, only my parents tune in or friends that don't have Twitch on the TV. LOL.
I start like that as well. Sometimes I still only have my wife watching it, so... Yeah, like the thing with Twitch... The reason I started Twitch as well, but like... You can't quite like keep the videos. So then I have 1,000 streams and nothing to show for. So Twitch is very good if you can commit to show up like I was showing up all the time. But I don't know, like, it's the right place to build, like, long term, you know? And you can always post, like, fast laps, reference laps. People watch it.
Aco Chavez said, yeah, the VOD is only for a few weeks there.
Oh, that's 155, good. I'm over slowing down here for sure. Doesn't feel fast, right? Let's go slightly later, slightly, just like here.
Will Tam said, Cayman GT4 I have.
Oh, but I meant like which car are you racing now? Because you wanna race GT4, right? But you're not racing those yet. Man, this corner sucks.
Said, I think it's easier to get monetized. Just need 25 followers and average of 3 viewers to get affiliate, so you can have ads and get money from subs.
Oh, is it? So maybe I'm wasting my
Will
time
Tam
here.
Said, I don't have any other GT4 cars.
Aside from GT4s, are you racing anything like the M2s, the Mazdas, like the GR86? Maybe I should be streaming more there as well. Okay, worked.
Will Tam said, GR86 and advanced Mazdas for now.
Okay, I think that Porsche is a good car then. If you're like into the old M2s, I would say the M4 is a good car. But if you're more like the GR86, Oh, we're slowing down for sure here. It's been a week, and it feels like it's been a month, just judging by my performance. I like the Porsche a lot. The Porsche is good, like for tracks that you have a lot of corners, because it's a better car on the corners for sure. If you have like a lot of straights, it sucks.
It looks like you've got some engine trouble. You've probably lost some power.
But I think Virginia, you can have the best of both worlds. I'm not people racing though.
Said, I have like 14 subs, mostly friends with Amazon Prime. Haha, that's a recurrent $15 a month.
So people with Prime, you still get paid? Are you saying like you still get paid? No, hold on. Let's talk business. Let's talk business. Tell me more about it. Because today, I've been here like for a year, and I make $0 with YouTube. Ugh. I'm in survival mode because I missed my brake marker. Let's go early. Early and last, okay? Let's go Gianni style. Like early and last. Like just, yeah. I have no idea how that guy can be so fast, like braking so early.
Will Tam said, Twitch is easier to make money if you are consistent. Akko Chavez said,
I'm 6 months late.
So
maybe.
on Twitch you have followers and subs. Followers are just like YouTube subscribers, while subs are the paid ones. Subs don't get ads, can have emotes and other stuff. Akko Chavez said, if you are an affiliate you get 50 the money from subs.
But if they subscribe with Prime, do you get anything? Come on. We have to take like 4 seconds now. 3 seconds now. So stay. No, it stayed in. No, it didn't stay in. And you just destroyed like a $300,000 car. Here I think it's like the early braking. Okay, better. Too late, maybe?
Akko Chavez said, subs have tiers, the higher the more expensive. They also have the option to sub with Prime. You can sub to one channel only with your Prime.
Oh, gotcha.
Will Tam said, you still get paid with Twitch Prime subs depending on viewer country.
Oh.
Akko Chavez said, I think tier 1 is like $8 and you get 4 prime subs or 2.5 I think.
I'm gonna investigate that. Maybe I should have investigated like earlier. Because we've been here like streaming for a long time. If I was making like 15 bucks a month, I'll never had paid for iRacing.
But the currency is localized, so getting subs from someone from Brazil is 8 reais.
Okay. Should I start talking with like a British accent to see if we can get more people from the UK? I should have like a Karam type of like voice. He's Scottish, so £8, not bad, right?
Aco Chavez said, haha, speaking in English already gives you a broad audience.
Man, this felt good. This felt so good. But it was too fast. Let's see our fastest lap. I don't want to see like the coach's lap yet because we don't have a car paint. We don't have a car paint. Should we fix the car paint or should we watch our fastest lap? I'll let you guys decide. In the meantime, I'm gonna put like we need a car paint, right? This doesn't look like us. So here, I think I'm like going too fast in the first corner. I almost want to get later here so I can have a better angle here. So let's not be afraid of slowing down more here. Turning in too early as well. Turning later. Late apex. Oh yeah, I just like slow down too much. Yeah, too much. Wasn't that bad. Over slowing down.
Aco Chavez said, I use this OBS plugin called ADAM Multi-Stream. Aco Chavez said, just need to connect your other account and start streaming on both.
Okay, come on. Is GitHub? Sometimes I wish GitHub was easier. Is it this one? All I want to do is download it. You won't believe it, but I use this thing. So I just don't think I download things enough here. Go to download.
Echo
But it's asking me
Chavez.
to log in. Do I have
Said.
to log in?
Go back to the site. Echo Chavez. Said.
Oh, it did
There
here.
SA go to download button top right.
Okay. What now? Do I have to restart? Let's see here. Hello, say hello. Multiple output. I can actually use this. Okay. Oh Lord. Let's go to Twitch real quick. I did not know. Actually,
we're doing our best to make sure every Whopper is your best Whopper, but we know mistakes.
Yeah. So this is Ezra's channel. So if I hit
Echo
subscribe
Chavez.
with Prime,
Said.
how
There
does
should be
subscribe
a
with
ADA
Prime?
multi-stream on the docks, so probably need to restart. Echo Chavez.
Or you
said.
can't see my pin.
I didn't know OBS had native.
Maybe it sucks. Okay, so I think I just subscribed to your channel, right?
Every time we drive,
It's like,
we're putting everything we love
what do I do here?
out on the road.
Come on. I don't want
And
to
that's why
this garbage. How do I subscribe with Prime here?
Echo Chavez.
Use Prime. Okay, good.
Said. Wait. Echo Chavez. Said.
But it's just a month?
Last page there SA checkbox.
Why it's just a month? $8! You just made $8. So I have a channel here somewhere. I have from Rich Road here. I'm pretty sure I do. Creator dashboard. Is like a different account? Okay, it's actually a different account. Sorry guys, it's good also because I'm taking a break from crashing into the walls. Got it. Oh, it's saying my name here. Okay. Okay.
Echo Chavez. Said. Subs are monthly, you can choose to renew or not.
Okay. You have to remind me. Back to Twitch. Okay, this is my channel. So let me see how I can go live. It's been so long. We'll try for another 5 minutes. So let's see here. How do I set up a Twitch stream via OBS Imola? YouTube.
Echo Chavez. Said. Creator dashboard settings, stream copy, primary stream key. Echo Chavez. Said. Don't leak the key, haha.
Good idea. So stream manager. Where is it? Stream tools maybe? Oh, they have like an OBS thing. Stream manager. I have 5
Echo
followers.
Chavez. Said. It's on settings below moderation. Echo Chavez. Said. Not on the stream manager.
Okay, okay, stream. Copy key. Let's go to OBS. And let me... Stream key, okay. What's the URL? It's just my channel's URL? Is that it? So YouTube is primary. What do I use as Twitch? What's the name? URL. It's saying this one here. I think there's zero chance it's working, to be honest. So... back to Twitch.
Well, that was it.
Stream manager. Okay, you're still not live there. It's quiet, too quiet. One more minute and we'll give up, okay? One more minute. Multiple output. Oh, maybe start? Yes! We are live there as well. Good. Thanks, guys. Do I put this somewhere here? Maybe I do. So we are live on Twitch as well. Good, good. So, right? Can you guys see me on Twitch as well? It's the same. Like it's every like. Let me see here.
Aco Chavez said, "Nice, send us the link, haha."
It's just from Rig to Roll. Just give me a second. Yeah, I have to learn how to choose this. It's been a while. I think I started here in March or something like that.
Said, "There's a website called Procut. You can mix both chats for you to read."
Okay, okay, hold on. That's manage stream. Okay, we are here somewhere. I believe that's gonna be like a share, right? It has to have like a share. Cool. Stream together. Manage goals. I cannot be that dumb, right? Like it's somewhere here that I just cannot see it. Hello, you said hi. What's the app? Like you're just pro chat?
Aco Chavez said, "What are you looking for?"
The link. Unstable. It sucks. I think it's just like twitch.tv/from-rig-to-road. All right. So there you go. I'm gonna put here. I'm gonna pin
From
it.
Rig to Road said, "https www.twitch.tv from Rig to Road."
Let me see here. You said this thing, sign up maybe. I'll just continue with Google because life is easier. Just yeah, still all my stuff. From rig to road. I confirm I look older than 13, right? Connect my accounts. YouTube. And then cool. Twitch. Cool. Where do I sit now? Oh, here. But maybe, you know what? Let's see speed chat. Twitch! Cool. I think we have both now. So, can someone text something on Twitch? And see if we can
Echo
get that.
Chavez said, you can dock this on OBS. Echo Chavez
How the hell do I do this?
said, testing.
Yes! Yes! It shows, but it doesn't show in the Streamlabs, right? Hold on. Let's do the full service here. So, how the hell do I connect? We have the alert box or the chat box. I have no idea how to do this. I think I'm logged in with YouTube. Doesn't look like I was using this, right? But then I want to add a different account here. Okay, cool. I think that's good for a day. Let me see if I can. I don't know how to. Oh, maybe with the URL. Right, docs.
Echo Chavez said, create a custom doc on OBS and paste the Procot URL, and then you can log in inside OBS to display.
Pro chat. Apply. And I logged in with my Gmail, right? It's asking for my Gmail. You know, the problem is I have no idea what my password is. Okay, my phone,
Echo
phone.
Chavez said, I use the overlay from Procot itself instead of Stream Elements.
Let me see. Alright. So let me dock, what happened to you, buddy? Apply. Okay, dock somewhere else. Let's close this one. Let's open you, buddy. Let's make you large. Cool. Close. And I have more moderation stuff here as well. That's good. Alright, so if you stayed with us until now, we're just getting started. Now we're streaming both on YouTube and Twitch. We are multi-stream. We are that type of streamer. Thanks, Will.
Echo Chavez
Thanks, Esdras.
said, give me mod, haha.
How do I give you mod? 3 dots. How do I give you mod? How do I, man. Okay. Let's try it. I forgot that. Oh, Pro Chat. Do I have to go to Twitch and give you a mod? Let's go channel. From rig to
Echo
road.
Chavez said, I think so.
Watch now with 3 viewers. Thanks, everybody. How the hell?
Echo
Okay.
Chavez said,
Report.
where is the text to speech from?
Speed chat. Speed chat. Okay. I'm trying to find how to give you the mod. You want to be the mod on YouTube or
Aco Chavez
let's see here.
said, "It's way faster on Twitch. There's some delay on YouTube. On Twitch is right away."
Like the yeah, like in YouTube usually has, and I have like the ultra low latency. So if you want to see what I'm doing, like more closely to what I'm doing, Twitch, and make sure you guys subscribe with your Amazon Prime account. But I have to have more followers, right? I need like 25 followers. So please, guys, just for a second, go to Twitch and follow me there. Cost zero. Cost zero. Zero. Let me see. That was weird. Let me see. That was weird. Why am I listening to myself? Okay. I'm trying to give you mod rights. Okay, okay, okay. Add as mod. Well, you're a mod on YouTube. Ezra's, well deserved. Well deserved. I'll have to figure out how to do this. How, what, like... Oh no, that's to stream together. Whisper...
Aco Chavez
mod...
said, "You can have subs already. Need to activate on the creator dashboard, but you can only get the money once you become an affiliate." Willio said,
And I need 25 followers,
"Hello
right?
again."
Yeah! Yes! Great, great, great. So now we have 2. And I think I have the numbers here. Man, that's such a great win today. I will not bore you guys further with my lack of technology savviness here, if that's even a word. But we are now live on both, and from now on we're gonna be live on both. And if you are not following us there, each follow we get on Twitch, you save a wall
Aco
from
Chavez
my car.
said, "Affiliate is 25, followers stream for 4 hours, stream on 4 different days, and minimum average of 3 viewers of 4 different days."
That's all to like monetize, right? I think you can do that. I think you can do that. We can do that. Let's celebrate being fast. That's not what we want. So let me think here. I'm just too excited. I want to get rid of the delta. That's number 1. Cool. So let's focus on them. Yeah, 4 hours we can do. Like per week we can do for sure.
Aco Chavez said, "Yep, you can activate the subs already on the creator dashboard."
Oh, it's not activated. Let me go off track because that's gonna happen eventually. Okay, it just happened. I want to at least do that so you guys can... So back to Twitch. Oh, I was there already. Creator dashboard. Alright, let's embarrass ourselves just a bit more. Manager maybe? No, analytics community. Community? No. Monetization. Setup. Do I have to do this? Maybe I do, right? Cool. So...
Aco Chavez said, "Yep, haha."
United States. Date of birth. Yep, I saw the agreement. I completely agree with you, Twitch. No questions asked. Cool. Use your balance from creator to buy bits. No, I don't want to do that. I want to make money, not lose money. Access. Okay, I think that's good. Settings. Stream maybe. No. Content. It has to be community. Ah, you see, we're here. Followers list. I don't think I should be sharing that. Overview. Like, this cannot be that hard. How the heck do I get subs?
Aco Chavez said, if you want to add me as an editor, I can change stream name and category. Aco Chavez said, subs worked, I can see the button now.
Okay. You are an editor. Yeah, just don't embarrass me, please. I don't deserve that. I'm a nice guy. All the power to the people. All right. Let me know what you do there. Yeah, I'm trying, like, I have to break earlier. Now I kind of know what I have to do. So I have to carry more speed on this. Not on, like, the entry necessarily.
Aco Chavez said, just changed the title to match YouTube and it was marked as a rear unstream, so I unmarked that.
Okay, good. Thank you, see? Thank you. It's gonna take me a bit to learn it, but eventually, in 5 or 6 years, I'll be self-servicing, for sure. Right now, our lap time sucks.
Aco Chavez said, haha, yet Twitch has a lot of settings, I'm still getting used to it.
You cut that corner and got a slow down penalty.
Feels faster to me. Yeah, it's not as user friendly. When I started, like maybe March, April, like maybe you can see on the Twitch account, like on the profile or something. When I started, like last year, I started on Twitch, but then because it didn't hold like the streams, I came to YouTube. Yeah, like you kind of want to go on the gas in that middle, but you just have like to slow down less on the entry and more as we get towards like the second part of it. Not quite. Alright, let's be more aggressive on the inputs. If I hit that sausage, I'm toast. That's what it is. And maybe you guys can subscribe like 1 month to my Twitch and the next month to Ezra's Twitch. This way you support the entire community. Oh, that felt good. Wasn't our fastest, but felt good. They're just like... Oh my god. Okay.
Echo Chavez
We have to figure it out, right?
said. Also, I think Twitch is giving 2 months of free Audible subscriptions for people that sub now.
Really?
You cut that corner and got a slow down penalty.
And I can create an audiobook just for you guys. Can you imagine listening to my voice telling you a story for like 8 hours? Sounds like heaven, right? I think I'm being too aggressive here, so let's maybe play more with the throttle. Funny how I...
Slow down. You got a penalty, we're cutting the course.
Let's go 50%, okay? 50. Too much. 50 was too much. 40. It's hard, like, to change something that big. On YouTube we have like 8,000, like something like that, hours watched. We just need the 1,000 subscribers now to monetize them. Alright, let's go old school. Late and hard. Too hard, right? Too much ABS. So... awful, but we'll continue. Man, such an easy corner to crash. Oops! I almost broke my thumb. Not quite. Ah, the idea was good to early in the gas though. Alright, let's see here what we can do. Oh, that was a good lap. This was a good lap. No longer is. Next corner is to the left. No, no off track, no off track, okay, okay. No off track. I lost a lot of time, but no off track. I don't think that was good, but we're improving our lap time, so I'll take it. Garbage, garbage, garbage. Okay, we improved a bit, which is good. So we're finding our way around here. That's awesome, actually.
You've just set your fastest lap of the session.
It's a bit of understeering there. Slow down too much on the entry. It's still like not a good lap, but we've been able to we're improving our lap time. Too late. Okay, overall faster in every single sector, improving.
New fastest lap for you.
I think I deserve some water. I want to be more aggressive on the gas, so that means we have to hit the apex more properly. Too early. I think here's a double left-hander, right? Off track. Let's are optimal. We wanna go as straight as possible. Maybe more progressively on the gas. A little bit more patient, maybe. Let's test it. Not enough, right? Not good. And here's like, we treat this as like one long right-hander. Because like it's a downhill thing, because it's downhill, I have to watch better like where I brake. It has to be earlier. I do think we're finding solutions. No, maybe not. Ah, off track. You see, like I'm braking, and it's just too hard too early. Not bad. Like that sausage kills me every time. Lá ele.
Echo Chavez said, KKKKKK.
Oh, now like Twitch is much. I'm so used to telling this silly joke and only hearing comments about it like a long time after. Okay, we do have a lot that we can improve here.
Just set your fastest lap of the session.
No, right? Like just lifting, it's not gonna cut it. I have no idea what I just did, but it worked. That's a good example, like, of slow in, fast out. I'm still like snapping the rear there.
Just set your fastest lap of the session.
5.3, that's not bad. I have to slow down further, like mid-corner. This car is one of those cars that you can use the throttle to have like more rotation. You see, like slow. This was a fast in, slow out. And this one, I think you can barely hold the brakes here. Maybe not, like this lap sucks already. Uh-oh. At least our optimal lap is going down. We need to take like a second from the optimal, 1.5 from our fastest.
Willio said, have you raced GT4S at VIR this week?
No. I raced last week on the league night, and then I went for a few fast laps before the coaching session. But the last time I raced was last Tuesday. I skipped this Wednesday, or this Tuesday's league night. So what happened to me, my parents, they arrived because our daughter is due any day now, and then just doing family stuff for quite some time. But I want to, maybe after this race is gonna be too late. But I wanna race maybe tomorrow.
Echo Chavez.
Let's see what he's
said,
doing.
I have watch out, it's raining on the fix.
Oh, another reason not to. At some point I have to practice more rain because I suck.
Echo Chavez
Really.
said,
I suck.
I did 2 races, died twice, minus 201 iRating.
That's it. The problem is when it's dry, it's hard to survive. When it's wet, it's impossible to survive if other people do silly stuff. Which I'm a victim
said,
of.
Echo Chavez rip LOL.
And that's
Echo Chavez.
Is that why you have the
said
3K?
Willio 747 sad haha.
Oh man, this speech chat kills me every time. It was longer saying the name than the haha. At least a ha 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 next time. So it's worth the read. Where's downloads? Mercedes. Let's go to replay. We paste here. We come here. Let's watch. Let's watch, Yanni. It's a nice car paint. By the way, now that I subscribed to your Twitch, do I get something on your car? Let's see from the inside first. No, let's see from the outside first.
Echo Chavez said, yes sir.
Okay, okay. I'll think about it. Just after the cone. 45, 46, 50. Early, actually. Okay, okay, okay. It's a track that requires patience.
Willio said, is this Sambo iRacing? I watch his videos on YouTube.
Yeah, how do you know? Because of the car? He usually has a purple car though.
Willio said, his name LOL.
Oh yeah, so Sambo, that's Sam. Sam has the thing. And one of his videos a long time ago last year, I was watching and he was like, oh yeah, I think it was Daytona or something. And it was a lap from Gianni. And towards the end of the video he said this guy helped me go from like 2K to 5K. So if you want to give it a shot, like look at the description. So I went to his website. I reached out to him on Instagram. So him and Sam are two different people, but he's the pro. Like and he's our coach. Yeah, you see here. You just gotta be aggressive here, I guess.
Willio.
I feel like
Said,
he lost some time there, though.
his name is on his videos, that's why I remembered.
Yeah. Yeah. Gianni is like the... Gianni is the one... He probably does the setups, so I can ask him. What's going on with Sam and him. It's funny because I saw like the actual Sambo guy in one of the Discord servers, like he was introducing himself because you have two. And I was like, no shit, like, are you Sam, like from Sambo? And he's like, yeah, it's me. I think it's from the UK. Gianni's from Australia. It's like, man, that's so cool. Alright, so let's see this. Right after the cone. Play with the gas, play with the gas, play with the gas. So it's a lot of playing with the gas.
Said. Wait, so who is the guy talking in the videos?
That's Sam, I think. If you stay, like, in 15 minutes, we're gonna have our coaching session, you're gonna hear his voice. But that's like, you're gonna hear Gianni's voice. Third. It's a weird first corner, right? Let's try a few more laps before the session. So, realistic, one static. So let's go here. Lutsu. So Lutsu driver performance. If you come to his website, this is Gianni. You will have information towards the bottom. You can book a session with him or talk to him. I reached out on Instagram, and that's how I got a hold of him. I don't regret it at all. Like he really helped me. I think right now, for me to improve, it's more on me. I have to put more like session times here, like more lap time, just like practicing, focusing on small things to go to the next level. I just don't have the time. I just do not have the time. Overall, I like the car better than like I like the other two. Like the BMW and the That's kind of the behavior there. Only if you had a little bit more grip. Only if you had a little bit more grip. I almost did something silly. Oh! Oh, too early, right? Slightly more patience there. Maybe second gear is fine there. Let's see if we can put a decent lap. I think he stays second here. Maybe a little bit more. Too early on the gas, too early. Cost me enough track and a good lap.
You've just set your fastest lap of the session.
I almost want to go first gear there. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. That's what I wanted. We have one more chance, so... Okay, too late. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. No, come on, come on, come on! Just one more lap, Jen. I know you're watching us. Just one more lap. Just one lap for me to be proud of, okay? Okay, this felt like decent. Let's just cross the finish line.
Just set your
Okay,
fastest
good,
lap of the
good,
session.
good. Now at least like we're within a second. All right, all right. Let's tell him we're ready. My shoulder really hurts. That was a good lap. That was a good lap. Like we can do significantly better, I think. But what's going on?
Alan, good evening, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, thank you, bro. Good, thank you. How was your week, mate? Plenty of busyness, I can imagine.
Yes, yes. Life's getting busier. Like
Yeah.
I learned something called Braxton Hicks contractions.
Yes. Right.
So
Okay.
they come like before the actual contractions, and my wife's having those.
Right.
So
Oh God. So that'd be
there's
a bit
that. My
stressful, I
parents are
can
here.
imagine.
A lot of
Yep.
like family
Oh, that's good.
time and not a lot of
Yep.
sim time, which is
Yeah, no, for
like
sure.
costing me something today. But yeah, everything's
Yes.
good, man. How about you?
Yeah, no, all good, mate. It's always the opposite for me. Too much sim time. I think I have on my end too much sim time, but no, it's been good, mate. Same old over here. So nothing new. But yeah, I mean, look, how have you felt? Because I guess that is the first time, I guess, probably since you went away that you've probably had an extensive period of time kind of off the sim rather than being on there realistically. I guess every day, but maybe the weekend, really, in a sense. So I mean, yeah, how did you feel? Because I went and just had a look at some of your laps, and I just saw that you went and posted a new one, basically in the 52s, and obviously prior to that, we were maybe about around that kind of 1.5 second away. But again, new car as well too, and I'm sure we'll discuss today. Very different to probably the other ones you drove in a way. So yeah, I mean, how have you felt initially with just having some time away and coming back?
So like there's always the rust. So new car, new track. Like not a lot of practicing over the last few days. So
Yeah, sure.
it took me some time to figure out what to do with the car. I started
Yeah.
trying to go like early on the brakes and less. So I'm trying to
Yes.
change that behavior. It's gonna take some
Yes.
time, and
Sure.
then
Yeah.
it wasn't quite like I won't say it wasn't working. It was not gonna work for tonight. I was like, okay, I can do this. I have
Okay.
to like this for 10 hours, so I can start
Yes.
getting good at it. Because
Yes.
I still have the like my intuition still tells me like late and hard, as long as
Yes.
you're not like engaging the ABS. And today I
Sure.
was engaging the
Yes.
ABS a lot, but
Right.
I did that for a bit.
Mm.
Got back to what I was doing, and then I hit like a plateau around like I want to say 3.4,
Okay.
and then I decided to take a break, and
Yep.
then we set up on Twitch. So now we're live on Twitch
Yep.
as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Make sure you
Oh,
go there and
exciting.
follow us, so because we need 25
Yeah.
followers there. But
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, definitely.
then came back, like watched your lap, watched my
Yeah.
lap, watched your lap, and
Yes.
then like that gave me the confidence of trying things that I was thinking about trying.
Right.
But you know, like when you're watching the Delta, you don't want to try anything different if you have a green Delta.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
So I saw like you going around, and it's not like we're doing very differently. It's just like the brake pressure. The only thing was like
Yes.
very different was the first chicane. And I
Right,
was trying
yes,
to brake hard and go like straight to the gas, full throttle as soon as possible. And the car was becoming like a beast to manage. And I saw you like
Yes.
feathering the throttle. It's like, yeah, that
Yes.
feels right. I was just not trying for some reason, but then gave me the confidence to come back and try it. And I immediately
Yeah,
like I
totally.
think in 3 laps, that's what took
Yeah.
me to go like to the 52s. So
Yeah.
maybe like a few more laps, we're gonna get close to the 51s.
The 51s. Yeah, no, fantastic. Yeah, and yeah, look, I think, looking at the laps, realistically in comparison to one another, I think I generated realistically in my mind an overall idea of, I guess, where the time goes for you everywhere, pretty much in a sense. And to keep it simple, I guess the whole philosophy of what going on is that the way that obviously you do your braking right now, it basically just causes you to have a slower minimum speed every single time. That's the truth in the matter of the situation. And the fact of whether you can go faster or not is whether you feel like you have the ability to get on the power more aggressively and earlier than me, really, in a sense. That's the difference between whether you go faster or not. And the lap I was looking at before, prior to this 52 you did here, your turn one was actually faster than me by about 1.5 tenths. But the problem is that to keep that consistent would be very hard. Because you basically have to make sure that you slow that car down perfectly every single time to then allow you to pick up the throttle at the right time and go all the way to 100% without running into an issue. That's the kind of thing that you're trying to strive for there, right? But obviously to naturally achieve that, that's always going to be quite a hard thing to do, right? So again, like we kind of talked about a little bit last week, it's always about trying to find that like consistent way of going about things, you know, having that consistent approach that you know you can kind of achieve, you know, 9 times out of 10 rather than that thing you can only achieve maybe 3 times out of 10, you know. That's realistically the biggest thing that we're always looking for. But I wanted to try this Mercedes this week because obviously naturally the last time I attempted to drive it was at Suzuka, and I felt like it felt like a total shitbox. But it seems like everybody really likes this car, and again, I do really like this car as well. It just seems like, and I'm sure you probably noticed a bit, but it's the tire on the first 2 laps in comparison to like every other car that we've driven. I don't know if maybe you feel the same, but I definitely feel like the tire is a lot more sensitive on those first couple laps. Like you have to be really careful with it almost in a way. Now, naturally, you're not going to feel that in actual official session because you get that kind of tire boost in the qualifying and the races, right? So I can see why probably in a racing situation it would work really well because the tire would already kind of pass that phase a little bit and you could just get on into it straight away. But is that something that you felt a little bit with this car as well? Did you feel that kind of that more sensitiveness with the colder tire in this car in comparison to like the BMW or the Mustang, for example?
Not really. Like
Not really? Okay.
When I started with the car, like new car, new track, new everything.
Yeah.
I know this is a front engine, right? So
Yes,
I
correct.
immediately thought about like, okay, Mustang and BMW.
Yeah.
I felt it's more like, I don't want to say like more stable maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Okay.
felt it was like
Yep.
more stability in the car,
Yep.
and I was maybe like going slow because I don't know the track was my first time in the car, not
Yep.
racing for a week. So maybe all of
Yep.
those things
Yep.
made me go like slower, and maybe that's why I didn't suffer as much with the cold tire. But it took
Okay.
me some time to go like, I didn't get an off track until I started trying to see where the off tracks were. So like, yeah,
Yes.
can I
Good.
go
Yeah.
all the way in the green here? No. Like, can I go all the way in the green there? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Good.
But overall, I
Yeah.
feel this is like an easier version of the BMW and the Mustang. I like them, like the BMW. If I had to rank them, I would say the BMW is like the pro level. Like the car has its own ways, and if you drive it well, you can drive it really well. But if you don't know what to do with the car, you're screwed.
Yes.
The Mustang has a bit of what the BMW has, but
Yes.
it's not as aggressive. And this
Yes.
one felt like more an entry level car. Like this one behaves very well. You can abuse a bit more of the things, at least from my perspective. You can abuse more the car. It's like the GR86 versus the old M2, right? Like the GR86, you do whatever you want. It's gonna be planned. It's gonna go around the corner. It's just gonna do like whatever you tell it. And I felt this with this car.
Yes. Yes. No, I agree. I think the easiest way to put that is just the platform's a lot better in this car, I feel. And like I said, especially when the tire comes in, it feels like it's really nice. But just in terms of its stability coming into the corner, coming through the corner, coming out of the corner, it just really feels quite good everywhere, in all honesty. And that's a really nice quality to have because it starts to feel like, it's the Cayman, but a front engine almost in a way, right? And in my opinion, the Cayman still wins the battle in terms of the most stable car, without a doubt. I mean, that Cayman is the most stabilized car out of any of the 4 that we tried. But definitely, the Mercedes is an easy second, and the Mustang and obviously the BMW sort of sit there in 3rd and 4th. Definitely, I think probably the BMW. Yeah, I mean, they're very close to one another. I mean, the BMW versus the Mustang, I think they're definitely both on power quite loose cars, to be honest with you. Whereas, the Mercedes feels quite good. And like the Mercedes, I do see is a very consistently competitive car. Like a lot of people always running this Mercedes, and I guess, you know, driving it for yourself today, I'm sure you can kind of see as to why that sort of is. But yeah, no, look, I think again, from a, you know, a driving perspective, I suppose you mentioned it yourself, but I think the biggest thing to just try and make sure that we get ourselves back into the habit of doing is allowing yourself to feel like the natural way that you generate that time out of the car is always braking that little bit earlier and braking that little bit softer, right? Because yeah, I mean, look, like I said, the whole philosophy of what actually ends up going on for you in comparison to myself is that, yeah, your minimum speed obviously just drops much lower than mine every time, and that's pretty much where your tent disappears, because it's the fact of whether, okay, you can gain as much time coming out of the corner as me, and the fact and the answer of that is just we can't really, in a way, and that's where the time basically just sits. Now the difference of where earlier in the stint, you know, you were probably feeling like you were doing maybe 53s almost in a way in comparison to myself. It was just the fact in the matter of the gap between, you know how much minimum speed you were washing off to and how much you were getting back was just even bigger, really, in a way. So you just kind of tightened that up, I suppose, almost in a way. That's all you realistically did. But yeah, you can imagine that when that idea stands of that's what you may be trying to do, imagine that in a racing situation, right? If you try to maybe in qualifying do the same thing and drop your minimum speed even more, imagine how much time you would probably lose. If you were in a race and the idea is the same thing, imagine how much extra time that you would lose, right? So that's where, you know, in terms of applying ideas to racing situations, that's obviously where things can go quite wrong, because what you're going to find is that, yeah, on a normal lap, when you're not under pressure, it's okay, right? There's still that little bit of time there, but it's okay. It's dealable. But as soon as you get into an under pressure situation, you try to do the same thing, that's where it just expands. That's where you find that 1/10 of a second turns into 3/10, or that 2/10 turns into 4/10, or that 4/10 turns into 6/10, you know? And that's obviously where the issue kind of stems with us. So it's a really important concept, I think, to just try and bring yourself down the ground a little bit, and just try and really make sure that, you know, when we are coming to these braking zones, we're braking that little bit earlier. We're not, we're not finding ourselves trying to push that corner a little bit too much, and just try to make sure we're being quite lenient with that. And obviously, yeah, we talked about that whole topic last week with that idea of maybe you were starting to try to play around and experiment with how deep you could go on the brakes, I suppose, in a way. But again, you can probably see this week that the way that the brake pedal works in this Mercedes in comparison to the way it works in the BMW was probably a little bit different, almost in a way, right? And that ABS threshold almost felt like, yeah, you could maybe go easily up to maybe 70% or 75% maybe in the BMW. But in this thing now, it's like you go anywhere above that 65, close to 70, and it will just start flickering on you pretty much straight away, right? So that's just that brake pedal difference almost in that sort of case. But generally with the car, do you quite enjoy it? Like, have you enjoyed it more than, you know, initially driving like the BM and the Ford? Do you definitely prefer it in a way? Does it make you feel a little bit more maybe comfortable, like as what the Cayman would do for you, for example?
Yeah, I think I won't say I can enjoy more, but
Okay.
it feels like a car that, for example, if I had to go on a track, and maybe like I won't have a lot of time to practice, this car might be like one of the first cars I want to think about, because
Yeah.
it's kind of easy to go around it. The other thing that I noticed though, like kind of the trade-off we're just mentioning about the brake, is the I feel with the other cars, like as I start trail braking and going to the corner, the ABS flickers, but you feel like you are at a limit. This
Yes.
one I felt like the ABS really engages. So
Yes, it does. It
um,
grabs.
it's yeah, it's like it's different from the other ones. So I
Yeah.
didn't in this time that I was driving it, I didn't quite find the sweet spot of like
Yeah.
avoiding really the ABS as I was turning in, and that caused like the understeer, which sucks.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's when I watched your lap, and I watched like your braking markers. And one thing that I noticed, and that's one of the things that whenever people ask me like, yo, because like when I do races in real life, they ask like, yo, how fast was the car? And
Yeah.
like that's the like what's the max speed? Like that's the wrong question. Like the right question
Yeah.
for a race car is how fast can you go when you're slow, right? And what I noticed from your lap to my lap, and what helped me like get a better lap after,
Yeah.
was you are intentionally being slow where you have to be slow, so you can go to the like can get on power as soon as possible.
Correct.
And then you can
Yes.
have like the
Yeah.
max amount of acceleration and
Correct.
speed and just like gain time there. And in the
Yeah.
beginning, I was just trying to carry a lot of speed in the corners, and I wasn't able to.
Yes.
So I was getting awful exits because I was trying to carry more speed, and I
That's
should
right.
just calm down and like, okay, let me be slow on the entry so I can be fast on the exit.
And this is the good thing about learning new cars as well, right? Is that at the end of the day, no matter how long we do everything for, a habit is always going to be there, right? And if we do think about it realistically, that was something that we were doing a very long time ago, right? Now, once you get your head around driving in the new cars and you kind of get yourself into the rhythm of doing so, you can see it goes away, right? You don't really ever experience it. But the fact of the matter is that whenever you go into a brand new car, that maybe feels a little bit different, sounds a little bit different, looks a little bit different, just the whole environment is a little bit different. It's very easy for your mind to kind of go back and think, oh, okay, how do I generate that time? You know, especially when initially off the bat, it's not there, right? Especially when you kind of see that, okay, I've done like a 51.8, I'm in the 53s, right? How am I getting down to that time? So guess what your mind thinks? Let's go in a little bit harder, let's carry a little bit more speed. But that's not how it actually works, right? We know very well that the way that you go fastest in these cars is not doing that. It's about always bringing things back. And in all honesty, I find myself in the exact same situation more than you can imagine. I mean, especially when, you know, I'm driving cars where, you know, maybe like on the weekend I had a Bathurst 1000 race on Sunday and in the V8 supercar, and that car for me is just, you know, I do enjoy it, but again, it is always one of those things that is probably not my pride and joy in terms of overall lap speed. Like I definitely, you know, a lot of guys, my teammates are, you know, definitely faster than me by a good handful, and I'm always trying to kind of learn off them. But it's more so just a case of the same thing applies. Again, you're not braking to 60% in that car, you're probably braking to 80 or 90% in that car. But then again, the same thing applies, that you've got to be braking to 80 or 90%. But you've got to also make sure that you're prioritizing the exits, you're not prioritizing the entries, because again, you might prioritize the entry, you bomb it in, you slide the tire, you get a crappy exit, you get wheel spin on the exit, and then again you just start blowing up your tire quicker than you can kind of imagine. So it's very much a case of like, it's the same concept lives on in everything that you do, but it's just about reminding yourself that that's what you need to do. And sometimes I think that can be the hardest thing to execute, is actually thinking, oh, okay, yeah, I just need to make sure I'm doing this correctly. But yeah, I think that can be typically the hardest thing. So I guess today, as you see telemetry wise, the same concept is basically showing here, where every single corner, the idea is that where that delta difference is between me and you is the time that obviously I've gained coming into the corner versus the time you've gained coming into the corner, versus the time that you've gained versus lost at the apex of the corner, and then the time you've gained versus lost coming out of the corner, really, in a sense. That's what gives us this difference in value. There's nothing else to it, really, in a way, right? That's the only difference. Now, whether that stems, as you can kind of see, into turn 1 here, or turn 2, really, you should say, but yeah, whatever obviously they classify it as, but obviously the reactions that it does develop from you, which you can see there, you have that little bit of like a bump towards the end of the braking zone coming into here, you have that little bit of like an increase towards the end, because again, probably just a little bit of a panic almost in a way. You do kind of look at that and actually say, well, you know what? If it wasn't for me doing that, would I probably have just carried the same amount of minimum speed anyway? Because if you think about it there, right? If you have a look at that apex, realistically what you can see is that right there, that's where the minimum speed drops, right? But all the way in, we're actually going the same speed. It's when you increase the brake right there, is that when it drops. So if you didn't have that increase pretty much in a way, right? Who knows? Maybe you might have just carried the exact same amount of minimum speed and it would have all been okay, right? You don't know. And that's just the thing that we got to try and sort of just think about, is like, okay, do we actually need to make these reactions sometimes, or is it just out of habit based off what you felt previously? You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm looking at here in a way, and I say, okay, well, did you actually need to make this adjustment, or is just because based on previous times that you made this adjustment for the sake of it, because that's what you've been doing consistently? You know what I'm trying to say there?
Yeah, and I want to
Yeah.
see like here, I'm trying to get, for some reason this is not working, just let me try to, I want to see like the lap. Let me see here. Okay, it's here. Let me see from behind. Just give me 1 second.
No, that's alright.
Maybe let me share with you as well. Are you seeing
we
the?
can share, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me, yeah, pop it up on your end.
No, I have to find.
I know Discord,
Okay.
it's a beauty, isn't it?
Yes. Let me get this one.
There we go.
I
Yeah,
think you have the
perfect.
right screen now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
So
that's
let's see
fine.
here what happened.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I wanna come in on something, but I
yeah,
wanna see what I did first. So
yeah. So you
it's
see, you just have that little increase. Yeah,
yeah. I think like
yeah.
what I'm seeing here, and I've noticed this behavior today, but
Mm.
what I'm seeing here, like I'm not gonna make it, right? And
Yes.
if I'm not gonna make it, I wanna brake more,
Yeah.
kind of like still on a straight
Yeah.
line, and
Yeah.
then do the final
Yeah.
push before I release, and then like the ABS I told you, so I can
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
around. But then I
Yeah.
realize I shaved off too much speed, so I go like full
Yeah.
throttle until I
Yeah.
catch up, because like the car's still
Yeah.
going around, and then just
Yeah.
like a little lift.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing that I
Yeah.
noticed today in terms of behavior,
Mm.
and I
Mhm.
just have to think more about it.
Mhm.
If we go back to the, no, now I have to figure out where the thing to stop sharing
Yeah.
here.
If you just click this, if
Yeah.
you just there you click that. Yeah. Perfect.
So if you look on the brake there, it kinds of
Yeah.
This wasn't that bad, but I started a
Yeah.
brake like a peak, and then I
Yes.
released like 5 to 6%, and then
Right.
towards
Okay.
the end I usually go back, and I think that's
Decrease.
just
Yeah.
like a behavior on my foot. Like instead of like locking in the foot or like the full
Yeah.
leg, engaging it and keeping it
Yeah.
constant, like I
Yeah.
go to the brake pressure that I want to, and then I just release a tiny bit, which means I'm not braking as much as I should. And then towards the end, I have to like like peak again just to make sure
Yeah.
I shave off that like final amount of speed. But
Yeah.
that usually causes me to shave off too much speed. So in
Yes.
this case,
Yes.
I think was more on the visual. I realized I was not
Yeah.
gonna go around the corner, so I just
Yes.
had a little bit more so I could have a better entry. But
Yes.
just in general, today I was realizing that.
Yeah. No, for sure. One thing that I will say is I honestly like in my perspective of things, like I don't actually sometimes feel like I'm gonna make the corner. In all honesty, like especially in this car, like I did a few laps here because or what I was doing every single time is I was braking that little bit too late into turn one, and I would try to hold the brake and I would just miss the corner pretty much in a way, right? But the thing that I was kind of finding was that yeah, like you just had to be confident that what you were doing was going to work, and it did, really in a way, right? Now, when you actually look at the racing line here, and that's just one thing I was going to comment there on your replay, if you look at the apex distance between you and I, right, you can actually see that your apex here is nearly a meter closer than what I am, really in a way, right? So, like we sort of said there, without that increase, it would have been okay, really in a way, right? You just had to trust it, pretty much in a sense, and that's what I was kind of feeling, and that's something that, like, the tracks like Monza, tracks like here, all these kind of tracks where you're coming in from a really, really long straight line and having to jump on the brakes and peak and hold, you got to have this really, really good level of trust that in your mind you feel like the car isn't slowing down, but it gets exactly the way you need to get it. You've just got to trust that it's going to do that, right? You need to trust that your input and your brake pressure is going to allow you to get to that apex perfectly, and it does. You just need to make sure that you let it do that, really, in a way, right? But again, the mind is always a very annoying thing sometimes, and guess what? It thinks it's not going to make the corner, and guess what your mind does? It reacts. But that's the beauty of the simulator, once again, is that, again, in real life, yeah, I mean, it would be probably an even easier reaction to make because, again, you know, in your mind, when you feel like you don't really think you're going to make the corner, guess what you do? You go and pump the brake even heavier. But the fact of the matter is that in the sim, right, you know that if you make a mistake, then you're like, okay, well, I learned from it, right? But you just need to put yourself out there to allow yourself to feel it just that once, right? And just feel it just that one time that you're like, oh, shit, okay, it works. But I didn't feel like it was going to slow down just until I turned in, really, in a way. That's the idea that you're kind of looking for. So it's a very, very interesting concept because I think it's one of probably the hardest, and you know exactly that because again, you've driven, you know, cars in real life and you know what it's like to drive a race car on a track. You feel everything, right? You feel everything, you know, through your body, through your mind, through your hands, through your arms, through your legs. You know, you feel vibrations, you sense the depth of perception, you have that sense of speed. You know, you have all of those kind of factors that help you to make evaluated decisions. here, all your evaluated decisions is depending on what you see on your screen and what you felt before. That's what you're basically always determining of. And that's why sim racing, you can be so repetitive, realistically, with sim racing, because all it takes is for you to connect mind and muscle together and remember repetition. That's all basically the simulator is in a way. And that's why, again, I can get on the sim any day and do what I need to do, because, yeah, I sit on here all day and I do those repetitive things and talk about those repetitive things all day long, really, in a way. So the more I talk about it, the more I think about it, the more I feel it, the more I see it, the more that I can do it. So the floor is there. The option is available. It's just you've got to allow your mind to do it, basically, in a way.
Yeah.
That's all it realistically is here. So you would have made this corner easily, I think, to be honest with you, if you just kept that brake obviously more flat. Then, of course, naturally, it would have prompted you to get on the throttle less, and then you would have done everything probably a little bit differently coming out of the corner. But that would have been that 600th of a second that you lost here is basically that difference right there. But it's a trust thing, it's a confidence thing, and it's a feeling thing. So I think it's quite exciting because it shows that the ability is there, the idea is there. It's just about allowing yourself to actually go and do that thing. And I think that's always, I guess, the one thing that I learned on the simulator throughout the years that I guess, you know, I didn't really probably pick up until a long way into my journey with it, is that I could do so much more than what I thought, but my mindset was the limitation, you know, and what mentally my mind thought I was going to go and have to slap a $10,000 invoice on the desk at the end of the day because I've gone and beached in the sand or crashed into the wall. That doesn't exist in here. So it's your playing, it's your playground. Try whatever you want, give anything a go. But it's just about sort of seeing that anything is possible. You've just sort of allowed it to be possible, really, in a sense. And that's all it realistically is. So I think, yeah, this here is, there's nothing going wrong. But the distance or the difference between you getting it right was just basically between you not moving your foot upwards and keeping your foot flat. That was the difference, basically, in a way, between you gaining and losing 600ths of a second here. So the idea is try and keep your foot flat here all the way through and just see what happens, right? Don't move your foot. And I promise you that you'll probably eventually at some point in that sort of in those you know, different goes of giving it a try, you'll probably find that one of those times it'll work and you'll be like, right, so that's what I'm looking for. And you've just got to achieve that every single time. But you've just got to say, okay, well, whenever you feel that thing again and you feel like the car's not going to make the corner, you know what you're looking for now. You've felt that feeling before and you know exactly what it's meant to feel like to where it's not going to slow down. But you know exactly when you go to release the brake and turn in, guess what it does? It turns in and there's no issue at all. And that's what you're looking for, right? So, yeah, it's a very, very particular feeling. And it's probably one of the most important feelings, I suppose, to feel here on the simulator, especially in these GT cars. Because I feel like for me, that was that groundbreaking difference. And to explain that to someone, I think is probably one of the hardest things ever. And I think I have a lot of drivers that are in that same position where I guess the depth perception is probably one of the hardest things to maybe, you know, obviously show and discuss. But it's a feeling that you will feel, really, in a way. You will feel like the car is not going to make the corner. Guess what your mind's going to want to do? Make a reaction. But you've just got to say, no, let me stay to the same consistent thing. And guess what it'll do? It'll turn, right? And it'll work, and you'll be like, holy crap, it works, right? And that's what we just need to try and feel. So, yeah, I feel like that's the point that you are at in terms of that, and it's just about the confidence. But again, we do need to keep in mind, it is a new track for us, it is a new car, and again, for you to kind of be easily within a second here, I think it just, again, shows that everything is working well. It's just to try and really find those last kind of higher hanging fruits, I suppose, in a way, those last little kind of, you know, small pieces of almost just, not really technique, but I suppose in a way just approach and application, that just comes from the confidence in it, right? So I'm sure that's something that you felt before, right? I mean, are you sort of running along with what I'm saying here and that feeling that we're looking for here? Have you felt that before in a lot of sort of cases in I guess BMWs or even the GT4s here as well?
Yeah, and as we're talking, I'm looking again at the corner itself, and I'm just like putting things together, right? So
Yeah.
I think there is one thing that's like the usual suspect, which is, and I've told you this before already as well. In general, I feel like you can carry more speed around the corner than I can, mostly because like the car is sliding. It like there's a slip angle there, and you can manage better, and I'll eventually, hopefully, I'll get there. But
Yeah.
at like my
Yeah.
skill level right now, I just can't quite manage as well as you can. So I feel more comfortable being slower. So that's one.
Yeah.
The second thing is,
Yes.
to your point, for me to get more comfortable being faster, I have to try it, right? Maybe like this specific lap, I didn't try anything different because I wanted to like was a last chance. This was 10:59, and you had already said like, "Hey, I'm ready," and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
"Just one more lap, just one more lap. I want to get like down to the
Yeah.
52s, right?"
Absolutely. Yeah.
So maybe like I was not taking as much chance there, but also
Yes.
to your point, like I'm watching here again, and when I go so close to the like not so close, like I hit the sausage, right? And what it does to my car, like it launches the left side of the car, which
Yes.
means now I have even less grip. So if I had done what you did, which was like hug the curb but not hit the sausage, I would have like four wheels there. I would be sliding because I would be like a bit faster. So maybe I'll be
Yes.
fighting a little bit the wheel, but I'll have the
Yes.
four wheels or the four tires on the track. Because I hit the
Yes.
sausage, my tires only hit the track all the way after the corner, and now like I'm
Yeah.
in the middle. I'm going to the middle of the track, which I wanted to be more
Yes.
open, to have a better
Yes.
exit, and I'm slower. So I think like I'm just connecting the dots here and seeing what happened from that as well. And to
Yeah.
your point,
Yeah.
having more time, and I think like for the next few months, I think that's what I'm gonna do because I don't know if I'll be able to continue like having the sessions every week, but I wanna also forget a little bit other races and maybe focus on the things like, hey, I'm gonna go to this
Yeah.
track, one track that we have already done in the past. Like we'll do a track for that week, get a session, but then spend a few hours just running laps and like let me see what's the absolutely earliest I can go on the break
Yeah.
without losing too much
Yeah.
time, and then
Correct.
let me try to
Yeah.
get like this max speed. Because also the
Yeah.
other thing is because you go slightly earlier and less. This one wasn't that much difference, but because you
No.
usually go like slightly earlier and less on the brakes, you can control that like the speed
The pressure.
better than
Yeah.
I can. Like, you
Yeah.
see like it's dropping because you're braking less. It's dropping the
Yeah.
speed at a slower rate than what's
Yeah.
happening to me. And for me, like because I'm braking harder, once like oh I think it's about here and I release the brake,
Yeah.
just the moment I
Yeah.
think and the moment I release the brake, because it's so much more like brake pressure, I shift down like
Yeah.
a few more like kilometers an hour, and now I'm slower.
Yeah.
Like this is a long,
Yeah.
long way of saying that I completely agree with what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
said, but like just a reflection on what I did here as well.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's great, and yeah, look, I totally agree. You know, I think the hardest part sometimes is these are the little concepts that are critical, you know, and to get to these concepts, you have to have the backbone of everything else first, which you have, right? And that's obviously very, very important. We know that you can do it. We know that you know how to do it, and we've seen it plenty of times, right? But to be able to grow these things, these are probably the toughest things to learn. And unfortunately, this is sometimes like where, depending on particular situations, you know, like I have a few guys that, you know, do streaming as well and stuff like that. And, you know, again, the idea is that when you stream, you want to provide entertainment, you want to go and drive, you want to go and, you know, do racing, but you don't learn it in there, and you can't learn it in there because that's not where you think about it, right? But these are the things that if you can't make that breakthrough with it and you can't get it to click, it's probably the one thing that's going to be making you linger always, right? And I think that this idea is behind everything we've ever talked about, whether it's to do with obviously, you know, braking early and softer, if it's to do with obviously, you know, turning in at certain points, if it's to do with trying to find where the limit is and all that sort of stuff. That feeling that we're talking about here, and that idea of literally allowing yourself to be a little bit more kind of, or have a little bit more compensation initially, to have better stability, but to also make sure that you can keep the brake flat pretty much all the way into the corner. That's something that for me is actually what allows me to be as efficient as I am in terms of saying, hey Gianni, can you get me a lap here? Yeah, no worries, give me 3 laps. Okay, bang. Hey G, can you go do this? Yeah, no worries, give me a couple laps. Bang, off I go, right? That's what gives me that ability to do. So it's my understanding and my feeling that I have in my mind of what that kind of maximum speed or what that limitation of how fast I can go into the corners, it all kind of groups together. And that's what allows me to achieve what I need to achieve and to maximize what I need to maximize. And that's it. And if that same idea can start to flow through your mind and I guess understand it in that way and it's understand it in that approach consistently, every track, every car, that's what makes it turn into something that might take you 30 minutes to something that might take you 5 or 10 minutes, really, in a way, right? Or maybe even more, you know, maybe 40, 50 minutes might take you only 5 or 10 minutes, you know? So it's a really, really important concept that it's probably one of my hardest things to discuss in coaching. Like it's because again, there's no way that I can show you that realistically. There's no way that I can sort of show it to you through lines or through driving on the track. It's something only my mind can see realistically, and it's a depth perception and a sense feeling that only I can feel. And even when I watch replays, I see it, you know, and that's what allows me to say to someone, oh, okay, yeah, you've slowed the car down too much here, right? And they're like, how do you know? I'm like, yeah, it's just because my idea of what feels fast is very different to what it looks like here. So it's a feeling that you've just got to try and kind of understand in a way that makes sense to you. But I suppose if, you know, in keeping it as simple as I can, it's basically just a feeling that you don't feel like the car is actually going to stop, but it does exactly when you kind of need it to. And again, that whole feeling and that whole process is trust, really, in a way. It's a feeling of trust. And, you know, I'll have clients that send me messages and say, hey, Gianni, you know, like, I feel like I'm doing exactly what you're doing, but I'm 2/10 slower, or I do exactly what I'm doing and I just can't get the lap time. And I say, I know. It's probably the fact and the feeling that you don't feel what I'm feeling, in the sense you're probably doing the same thing, but maybe depending on the way the wind angle is, or depending on the way that the track condition is, or depending on the track state, all these different little components, it's maybe changing slightly. Where that initial braking marker is probably slightly changing, you know, how long you need to hold the brake for, and all those little things compounded on each other equals to you losing a tenth, 10.5, 2/10. And again, when we do realistically think about how quick that time is, 2/10 is, yeah, I mean, it's not even visible, you know, it's that quick a time. So, you know, it happens so quickly that you don't even really have time to think about it, but that's the difference between, you know, where that time realistically is. So it's a concept that, yeah, you know, I think, especially now as life is going to get very busy for you, I think it's a big concept that probably, you know, if you can put focus point into actually understanding where we're coming from with it, and actually really making sure that you're starting to find your own unique way of feeling that's going to change your career, really, in a way. And it's going to make your sim racing experience completely different, because it's going to mean what usually typically would take you maybe 30 or 40 minutes on stream to achieve, you can hop onto a stream, jump in the car, and give yourself 5-10 minutes, and you're going to be at the exact same spot, really, in a way. And that's how I kind of feel, really, in a way. But for me to understand that, and for me to kind of know what it's all about, again, you know, little old 20-year-old me didn't really have a clue what was kind of going on there. It took me probably 3 or 4 years to kind of figure it out and have a concept behind it that actually kind of makes sense. But it's probably the tip of the iceberg, really, in a way. It's the thing that everything else behind it leads up to feeling that, but it's probably the hardest thing to feel, really, in a way as well, because there's no like concept of view, there's no idea of view, there's no way to watch it, really, in a way. It's a mindset development, really, in a way. It's something that only you feel, you know. It's something that you see through your eyes. It's something that you feel in your mind. It's something that you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I've done that, good. It's very unique. So it's probably the toughest thing, and it probably will be, I guess, probably the biggest thing for you is saying that, like, that last step, really, in a way, because everything else is great. I mean, there's you know, everything else is perfect. You know, there's nothing really from a driving sense wise that you can improve on. Everything else is superb, right? It's just about making sure everything we discussed is working in conjunction, and then it's making sure that this mindset that we need to kind of maybe develop a little bit more and actually put into practice more is working all together, and that's where you get your answer. Every single corner, every single track, every single car, and that's it. That's when you become the sim racer you want to become. Obviously, then on the other side, turns into racecraft, right? That's obviously the biggest thing on the other side of that. But realistically, other than that, to be honest with you, that's probably the biggest concept. So, yeah, I mean, how do you feel about all that? What's your thoughts with, I guess, that whole topic there?
You know, I think like it first of all, like it's good to hear that I'm on the right track, right? I remember our first session when we were discussing it, and there was a lot, right? Okay, and I also remember before we had the first session, I told you like, hey, I can only work on one thing at a time. I know I suck.
Yes, sure.
There's a reason why I'm looking like for coaching, right? I know I suck,
Yep.
but I do need like someone to guide me through like every single thing and one at a time. And the first lesson was the ABS. Never heard about it. Always try like to I didn't really understand the difference in brake pressures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those were very I want to say like beginner, but like very easy problems to fix. And I think as I'm evolving, I think the problem is less on the driving itself, because a lot of times what happens, and I know like I've said this before, I know if you put like half an hour on this track with this car, you're gonna find another second, like for a hot lap, easily, right? That speaks like to your level, and I'll probably won't be able to find that right now, but just like having you come here, you put like 3-4 laps, you get a time. When I was racing like or doing more every single day, I was able to get very, very close, but oftentimes my my optimal lap was already below the reference lap, which tells me like I can do it, like I've done it, right? It's just a matter of putting all the sectors together, and it's good to be there. It's good to be there, but now like it's like the 80/20 rule, like to improve this 80% that I had to improve like was 20% of the effort, and now to improve the next 20%, it's really like the 80% of the effort. And I really need to come here and find time, or just be patient. Just be patient about it, and really like practice, and maybe have a focus for like a full session. I have 1 hour to sit here. I don't care about my lap time. All I care about is making sure I'm braking earlier and less, and like feeling the car and trying new things. And then like no race for that week, like no race for 2 weeks. Just making sure we're getting that. Because also, following the example of the ABS, I didn't have to learn how not to trigger the ABS in every single track. I just had to learn how to manage the ABS on that car in a few sessions. And once I got that, now that when I go to the Porsche, when I go to the BMW, the M4, when I go to the Ferrari that I drove, like the Road America thing, when I go to other cars in other tracks, like other, even like other types of car, I still like know what to do when I feel the car and understand ABS. So I think that's going to be the same. It's just like changing my behavior, which I've been developing for over a year now, into the behavior that I want to have, just being patient and understanding that after like 10, 15, 20 hours of like just pure practice, I'm going to start getting there, and that's going to unlock the next like half second, like the next second for my pace, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because look, I mean, at the end of the day, I think, you know, the biggest thing is, you know, I could sit here with you every single week and we could go through corner by corner and we could keep on doing the same thing, right? We could, right? But at the end of the day, that limiting factor is going to be what we've talked about here, right? At the end of the day, if that's not being produced, we stay at the same point, reason away, right? That growth doesn't happen anymore, reason away, because that's what you need. That's that extra dot that you need to be able to connect to find that extra little bit, right? That's where it starts to come from, because that feeling for you opens up this new window of you being able to push even more, and you being able to feel like you know where the limit is to a certain extent. And that's what allows me, like you said, that's probably what would allow me to go and find the extra half a second to maybe 8/10 in the lap, is that I can continue building that feeling of where is that limit. You know, how far can I keep working to find that even more, and how much more can I keep pushing? Because again, you know, I think that's always the hardest thing with coaching is, I think, you know, from a driving perspective, you know, especially for me in the real world, you know, for probably 8-9 months, I was sitting there doing the same track, the same car, every single time, and it was just kind of like, well, damn, you know, what more do you learn, right? And that was the problem, is that every week I would go for a coaching lesson, it would just be looking at telemetry, right? And it would just be saying, yeah, look, you need to brake later, you need to do this, you need to do this. But, okay, yeah, I walked away as a champion, fantastic. But I was still 1.5 seconds off the lap record. Where's that? Reason away, right? Why can't I get to that? Reason away. I can win the championship, but why can't I get there? Because I didn't have any philosophies discussed to me, right? And I made that my goal as a coach in my own capacity to say, well, the things that I missed out on in real life, I want to make sure that the people I coach get that information, because it's stuff that if I didn't have that and I didn't learn that somehow by myself over the years, I wouldn't be here today, really, in a sense. That's the way I always think about it. Like, I would probably still be a 2,500 iRating driver, and I would be doing Mazdas trying to figure out what the hell is going on and why I'm 4 seconds off the pace, really, in a way. You know, it's the truth and the matter of the situation. So it's really, really, you know, things that, you know, I learned through my career as a young driver, and sort of stuff that I look back on today. You know, obviously, naturally, I didn't really have the maturity there to ask those questions or say, hey, look, I get what you're saying, but I'm not going forward. I'm doing the same thing and I'm staying the same. Why am I staying the same? Because I haven't actually been discussed what I need to actually improve as a driver, mentally, physically, and technically. I'm not getting produced that, really, in a way. So, you know, I think these conversations that we have here today, even though it's not, you know, exactly, you know, saying, okay, yeah, this corner you got to do this corner you got to do this. At the end of the day, it's one consistent thing that's happening every single corner. Every corner, that minimum speed is lower than me, right? And no matter what way we're doing it, structurally, you're doing it perfectly, right? Your idea of how you want to approach the corner, the application you're putting in, the way that you're actually, you know, shaping your brake is perfect, right? And that's obviously great. And that's the beautiful thing that we have in what we do. We can compare, you can look at my replays, you can see telemetry, and you do that hard work, right? And that's obviously what allows you to get to this really close point without you've ever seen this track before, and without you ever driving this car before. You can get within a second, right? And a lot of people would be, you know, begging for that almost in a way. So for you to feel that so quickly is great. But where it then takes you that extra little bit to find that is what we're talking about here today, is that 7/10 lies in 7/10 worth of you feeling like we come into the corner, not feeling like we know that kind of edge of the speed or that edge of grip or that limitation of how far we can go. We don't know where that answer is. And unfortunately, because of that, we can't get the car to be where we want to be, to go where we want to go, and do what we want to do. And that, unfortunately, is where that limitation is. And that's that difference between me being able to extend that gap and then obviously getting to that limitation point of, like, you get to the same time, or the optimal was there, but where's the speed come from more? You know, where do I find more speed? It's through this feeling. Because at the end of the day, I don't do anything different, in a way, right? I don't change the way I drive. It always stays the same. But then somehow, naturally, I go and find another second. All it really is the tire probably comes in a little bit more. Fuel obviously drops out. But the fact of the matter is that I find that extra little, like 2 or 3 meters, that maybe I can go that little bit deeper, and I can just maybe change that brake pressure by a little bit, in a sort of sense, maybe a couple of % at best. But structurally, it stays the same. Application-wise, it stays the same. But I just find that extra half a tenth here, or that extra tenth there, or that extra half a tenth here, and by the end of a lap, it ends up to 4, 5, 6, 10. You know, and then that's your extra lap time. So it's a really, really important thing that, you know, obviously we're coming to the end of the season now, and obviously, yeah, big chapter of your life's about to begin. I think it's definitely something that we've got to try and, yeah, maybe think about more, you know, more importantly, I suppose, than, you know, doing the racing and all that sort of stuff. I think it's what would really help you to get the answer that you're sort of looking for, and actually, yeah, I think take that final step, I suppose, that you need, to where, okay, you know what you're doing in these things. Now you can typically be, you know, quite competitive, and obviously then it's just about, you know, the experience level of tracks that I might have over, you know, someone else might have compared to you. Obviously, it's just, that's where that difference is always going to be. So, yeah, I think it's probably going to be, probably one of the toughest hurdles to jump for you. I think naturally, just because it's something that I can't really physically sit here and show you. Like, it's not something that I can show you realistically, in a way. It's only something that I can tell you. And I think that's probably why it makes it the hardest thing, because it's something that is unique to everybody. But I don't even really know how I can describe it in a way. It just kind of feels like I come into a corner mentally, my eyes. I always know that, like, whenever, like, you know, a feeling that I would always get in a real life car, especially, you know, in like an open wheeler car, when you're coming into a braking zone and trying to hit the brakes at the 70 meter board and stop from like 250 kilometers an hour down to like 140, for example, right? When I always would hit the brakes, I would kind of get this feeling, and I do get this feeling naturally when I maybe get like nervous almost in a way, or I have something that, like, I'm not 100% confident about, or panic. My vision starts to not go blurry, but it kind of feels like I have this like weird pressure in my vision, almost in a way, right? I kind of feel like I'm on the brink of something about to happen. I'm like prepping myself for something to happen. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm not stopping here, right? My eyes start to kind of jitter a little bit. I start to panic slightly, and then that's usually when you would make the reaction, right? That's what kind of happens. You're like, oh no, I'm not gonna make it. Brake, right? More brake. But you've just got to push through that feeling and just say, well, I've experienced this before. So you brake, you hold, you see the corner coming at you fast, you're looking at it, you're like, I'm not making this corner, I'm not making it. You trail, it turns. That's what you're looking for, in a way. You've just got to break through that barrier of where your mind tells your feet, do something. You don't want to react to that, in a sense. When your mind tells you to do something, you don't do it. That's basically what it comes down to. And again, that's the thing in racing and real life that basically, destroyed me finding any more time, is that I couldn't break through that barrier, in a way. I couldn't break through that barrier of doing more. But why couldn't I do more? Because I was stressed. I was scared. Because, I didn't want to say to my dad, hey, Dad, I buried it in the sand today. We got to spend $5,000 today. Oh, yeah, fantastic. No worries. $5,000. Here we go. It's not exactly something that was really possible for me. So, it was always something I had in the back of my mind. But when I'm sitting here on the simulator, I don't care. I can do whatever I want. No one's going to tell me, anything. I can do what I need to do, and I'll get the answer. So I think it's, probably the most important thing that we'll learn, and I think it's probably the most difficult thing that we'll also have to go through learning together. But I think, over, coming into the new season now, and like I said, going to that period now where it's probably not going to be as easy for you to go and, smash out, 4, 5, 6 races a week. That approach for you is going to be saying wherever it suits you best, wherever you feel like it will be most confident, find a track or find certain tracks that you can go and do and drive, and it'll really, really help you to kind of open up this perspective. Because if I sit here through every corner and we analyze, it'll be the same concept, right? It'll be the same thing. We're braking a little bit too hard here, it's making you release a little bit too much here because the minimum speed is lower, then it makes you increase too much here, you pick up the power. I was a little bit faster on the exit, but again, you've already lost the amount of time through that minimum speed phase, and that's 2.5 tenths, that's 600ths, that's 1.7, that's 2.1, that's 800ths, right? It's all the little things like that. That's where it all sort of stems from. So in all honesty, it's an amazing point to be at. It's a really, really cool point to be at, without a doubt. I mean, it just shows that everything we've done up to this point has led to now. But it's probably one of those sort of, conversations that I always sort of, it's always quite interesting to have, because again, it's probably my toughest thing to explain in racing and in driving, that again, I can't really physically show you. That's the hardest part, like I said. But I think, hopefully that conversation there just starts to generate kind of what you want to start to feel. And I guess again, you'll probably have this weird and unique feeling that you might feel personally yourself, that you're like, okay, I haven't felt that before. That's I guess what it is, and that's what we're kind of looking for. So I mean, how do you feel about all of that? Obviously, it's something different. I mean, completely different probably to anything we've really talked about, over the last 6 months or so, really silly about anything. I mean, it's all been about, hey, do this, or hey, do that, or change this, or apply this, or apply that, or break here, break there. But this is really silly, just like, this is a feeling, and this is something that you've got to feel by doing everything we've talked about, right? And making sure that you do it consistently. And if you can do that, then I mean, it's going to unlock a lot for you. So, I mean, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I think very good points. To what you're saying, I think the hardest, and you made a very good point saying, like, it's not necessarily, I'm saying, like, it's the skill level, and the cause is not necessarily the skill itself, but like the mentality and like what's going on in my mind as I'm going like around those corners. And I think sitting down here and like regarding the stream, I've accepted the fact, like we talked about this before, like if I have to spend like 2 hours practicing and nobody sits down and watches it, like it's fine. I'm gonna be streaming anyways, right? My wife's gonna be watching, so at least I have one viewer. My mom as well. My mom turns all the TVs at home like so she can give me the views, which is funny.
Amazing.
But like I don't, and people like it. Like the community that I've built around this project, people like to sit down and watch it. I can hear the things you say, and then we discuss. And a lot of times, like they tell me, like when I'm doing the fast laps, like, hey, he told you to do X, Y, Z, you're not doing that. So I think I think less about like the entertainment part. This is more documentation of my journey. If people entertain, fine.
Yes.
If they're not, fine as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's really my brain. It's really
Yeah.
like one of the things that I have to get rid of is any reading of a delta, because what happens
Yes.
is it's just math. If you break 10 meters before what I break, I'm gonna be faster on the entry. It's just I'm just carrying like naturally carrying more speed, but then I lose everything towards the end. And if you have the delta showing you are braking at the right place, it's actually telling me I'm going slower, right?
Yeah.
It's just like you see the number getting redder and redder, and then it gets into my mind, and then I just like screw everything up from there. And also there's the other thing that's when I'm doing a very good lap. It happened on this lap. Like I was looking the delta on my wheel because I didn't have on the screen. I was looking at the delta on my wheel, and I was like 8/10 faster than my previous fastest lap, and that was like a short run. Like I want to lock this in. Like I'm not gonna try anything new. Like it's not a time to try anything new, right?
Yeah.
And for the session, it makes sense. It's like a fast lap before going to a race.
Yes, exactly.
But from a development perspective, it's just not the right approach. Like I should care less. I should sit down here and say like I'm gonna suck. It's fine, but I'm gonna leave this session with a much better understanding of like or a much better handling of my brakes at lower pressure. So for today, I'm not gonna go over 30%. It doesn't matter how slow I am. I'm not gonna go over 30%, and I'm gonna feel the car. And things like that. Like I think those drills that I can impose to myself and I can try, they won't have like immediate feedback, but they're gonna help me build the skills that I want to build. And then when I finally get like the approach and the behavior that I need to have, that's gonna be like again not a skill thing because I can do it. It's gonna be like a mental thing. Like can I think like that? Can I behave like that when I need to? One like tiny comment. I was impressed with myself today because I was trying to brake early and less. And I was saying like on the stream, like, yo, I'm going to try to go like 45% here. And I'll hit the brakes and I'll look. And I was like right around 45%. And like, I can actually do it. Like it wasn't like I was trying to find where it was. I knew exactly where to find it. Like, no, like 45% was not enough. Let me go like 55%. And then I'll go 55% the next lap. And then like, oh, this was too much. Then we should probably be around like 48%. And then the next lap, I'll be around like the 48%. So even like a few weeks ago, I was saying like, yo, I feel that the refinement that we have, that you think I want to go like 39.425%, you can probably get there just because you've done like so many times and you know it so well. And I couldn't. Today I realized I can. Like I can actually, if I think I have to go, I'll just, my body will just react and get there. So it's truly like, it's truly getting more comfortable, braking earlier and going around the corners and testing. Like I won't say braking earlier again because that's just one thing, but playing with the throttle. Like I was trying to go full throttle 1,000 times. I kind of felt that feathering the throttle was the better idea, but every time I tried something different from going full throttle, I would see the delta going, getting redder, and I was like, that doesn't look fine. Like that doesn't look right. So I'm gonna give up on this, and that was not the right decision. When I saw your lap, like that's the right decision, and I did it, and all the way towards the exit of the second corner of the 2, 3, 4. Right, that's where the time came. And like, yo, shit, like the time's here. It's not like there. But I really appreciate. I think skill-wise, I feel very confident. It's gonna take a lot of repetitions to make sure I'm consistent, and I'm getting better at that as well. And it's like a matter of mentality and making sure I have the right behaviors and like I practice those things. And forget about like the road to 4K and everything else, so I can just become a better driver in general, and then like everything else will follow.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think the big comment that I would say there to end that off is, don't let artificial kind of aspects of what you can see or
Mm-hmm.
what you can feel interfere with it. You know, don't let what number you're trying to get to iRating interfere it. Don't let the delta interfere it. Don't let anything artificial other than what you see and what you feel affect you pretty much in a way. And this is the whole concept that we talked about today. You don't think about anything, right? You don't feel anything else. You don't look at anything else. You don't think about anything else. The only thing that you worry about is whether that thing is going to make the apex or not, right? And you feel like that thing isn't going to make the apex. That's what you want to feel. You don't feel like the car is going to make the corner, but it does, right? It's the biggest reverse psychology you would ever think about. You want to drive the thing in that hard where you don't think it's going to actually pull up, but exactly where you need it to, it does, right? And as soon as you go to turn the wheel and release the brake, the thing turns every single time, right? And that's the feeling that you're looking for, because that is what's going to generate everything else. By looking at the delta, but maybe thinking about iRating, but thinking about all these other artificial factors of everything, that doesn't find you this answer, right? That just kind of gets you further away from this answer. And that's one of what we're always trying to sort of aim for, is we want to try and get this area, I guess, amplified and get it something for you that feels consistent and feels repetitive, and just generate, I guess, almost in a way, generate that mindset and that sort of mind to muscle feeling that you're trying to feel here. That's what we're wanting to try and do. So yeah, look, we'll discuss obviously approach going forward anyway into next season and beyond, because obviously, yeah, like I said, I know that obviously your life's gonna get busy very shortly. So yeah, whether we try and organise something, maybe we'll meet maybe every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, depending on what your schedule's like, or whatever you think will suit best for you in terms of continuing that progression forward. Then we'll definitely discuss that. But yeah, look, I think it's great to see we're at this point now after everything we've been through. I think we're at a really cool spot, and especially, yeah, I mean, only basically here one season in these GT4s, and again, you've held your own, you've done what you need to do, you've applied everything you need to apply. You haven't dropped to an iRating that you thought you were going to. You've stayed basically at that 3.5k the entire season, every single track, every single experience. So you've proved to yourself that you can do it. It's just like, well, what do I need to do to be able to be at the front every single race, every single track, every single car? It's just about basically being sure that you're applying this main concept and applying all the other concepts that we talked about at the same time. So yeah, look, we'll make that the focus. We'll keep thinking about that a little bit, obviously put that into play, and obviously, yeah, we'll discuss obviously direction forwards, as yeah, obviously next week will be our last one there, so we'll have a chat about things, and we'll see where we want to go from there.
Perfect, man. Really appreciate it. And
You're welcome, man.
anything can happen between now and next week. I'll keep you posted.
Yes.
I appreciate
yes,
you pinging. The very quick thought I'm having here right now as well is, I only came down like here today and practice because we had a session. So
Yes,
one way or
correct.
another, like our sessions helped me during this time to come here.
Yes,
You
for
know,
sure.
like
Yeah.
otherwise I
Yeah,
wouldn't be here
exactly.
today. So I'll think about
Yes,
that as
correct.
well, because at least like if I have to come here once a week and I have
Yeah.
to show up and talk to you and show you something, that's gonna force me to come here and I'll have to figure it out
Yeah,
rather than just
absolutely.
being like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna come
Yeah.
whenever I can, and I'll realize and I
Yeah.
never can.
Yeah, no,
But
totally.
we'll definitely chat about this offline. We have one
Yeah.
last next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see if
Yeah.
the baby comes before that.
Yeah.
If not, we'll be
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, we'll be here. And yeah, look, we'll discuss anyway, but yeah, we can definitely work around days. I mean, look, if you need to be flexible with days anyway, we can definitely do that as well. It doesn't have to be we don't have to catch up on a Friday every single week. It can be a weekend, it can be earlier in the week, whatever. So we can play around with that as time goes. So that's all okay. So yeah, we'll discuss it either way anyway. So yeah, look, really good lesson, Alan. I think, yeah, really great to talk about these things with you, because yeah, I mean, this is a topic for me that I think it's always hard for me to talk about, because again, it's something that I only get to talk about with very few drivers, to be honest with you, because I think it's, obviously it takes a very long time to get to this point, almost in a way. But I think the good thing is, and I guess the great thing with you as a driver is you're very applicable to everything we talk about, and you get involved really, really well, and it allows me to have this conversation with you probably quite nicely, because you give your input on it, and you kind of give your understanding of it as well, which I think helps you to, well, it helps you to understand everything we've ever talked about. But I think yeah, it just makes it a lot easier for me to put it across in a way that makes sense for you. So yeah, we'll keep working anyway, and like I said, we'll really put that into perspective. But yeah, good to see that you literally jumped on today, did a handful of laps and we're within a second. You know, if we asked ourselves to do that, you know, 6 months ago in the BMW M2, you would have been like, how the hell are we going to do that? So to do that in a car and a track you've never visited before, I think, yeah, you gotta put your hats off to yourself. So yeah, look, it's all coming together. I think just some really, really important things to continue working on, and I think if we can do that, then yeah, we'll be where we need to be. So yeah, man, we'll keep working hard. We'll talk over the weekend anyway, and we'll discuss direction forward, and we'll we'll obviously go from there next week. And yeah, let's see where we're at next Friday. Maybe you might have a new special person in the world. So let's see what happens.
Perfect, man. Yeah, maybe you have
There
to
we go.
set some time apart to teach her as well, because she's definitely gonna be a driver. That's my goal. That's my goal as a
Yeah.
father.
No, amazing. I know. That's my goal as well when I get older. Definitely want to have my kids in motorsport. But yeah, I know it's mate, it's going to be very strange having my journey as a coach, having to try and teach them what's going on. But yeah, no, it'll be cool. So yeah, no, look, you keep me posted, man, and yeah, all the best anyway. So yeah, we'll touch base, and yeah, I'll see you over the weekend. I'll see you next week anyway, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, sir. See you next week. Appreciate
Have
you.
on. No worries, man. Have a good weekend, okay? Take care of yourself.
You too. Bye bye.
See you soon, bro. Bye.
Very good conversation. I think like very good points. He nailed it. Like it's about not being it's about not being afraid. Like that's what it's about. Like it's about of finding that very specific it's kind of like being right at the limit, right? Like if I am at the limit or on the limit, I never know the preposition there, but if I'm there, what is going to happen is the car, like it feels like the car is not going to do it, but the car will do it. And if it feels the car is going to do it, it's because I'm not pushing myself. That's basically what we just talked about. Let's go for, it's like midnight. Let's go for a few laps here. Maybe just 4 or 5 laps. Let's not even put the delta on. We don't care about the delta right now. It's like basically what we're talking here is like, and I can see my speed here. He was doing like 115-ish, and here's like the feathering the throttle. It's this what he said about. Let me just put my gloves here. I don't like driving without gloves. I feel like the wheel lasts longer with gloves. That's why. Did you guys see if I put yeah, okay. Oof. That's more like cold tires than bad behavior, so. Like here we kind of were doing that. I think that's the only corner we really. Let's see. 3 laps. Let's see the best we can do here. No. That's exactly what I did last time and what we discussed not to do again. Oh, I had to go on the gas early to avoid like the... Definitely overslow down there. Brake earlier there. Brake earlier.
You've just set your fastest lap of the session.
Oops. Kind of worked. Now too much speed, too much speed. So here we're gonna stay in third. So like, feels like we're gonna miss, we missed it, right? So slightly more on the brakes. So I don't think it's less brakes, it's just not the final push. I think like hitting the grass there killed us. One more lap. Just one more lap. Just one more lap. Again, our focus is here. Like you see, shaved off too much speed. So it's almost there, almost there, almost there. Almost. We just have to go to that like initial brake pressure faster, that's all. Release too early, didn't hold as much, so let's go guys, we can do this. Let's take you off. One last fast lap, okay? Let's just focus on what we can do. Less and best. I touched the grass, touch the grass. Touch the grass is like... I just want to finish, like to complete one lap. Driving truly on my limit. I didn't trust the grip there. Yeah, I tried to go like less on the brakes. Didn't quite work. I just want like one clean fast lap. Even if it's not our fastest, just one clean. That was too early on the gas, too early. In our race I could have saved it, but here like we're trying to do fast, so I did feel like I lost a little bit of time there. Okay, I don't think that was our fastest, but it was a fast, clean one. Let's see, like R2.6, not bad.
New fastest lap for you.
2.7, not bad. All right. I think it was good, right? I think we had like a 2.7 before, and we did it again. All we need is more practice. All right, so gotta go. I might be here tomorrow. I might not. Like, do you guys like the car paint? I might not be here tomorrow. Time will tell. If you wanna follow closer, make sure first, if you are on Twitch, follow. If you have Amazon Prime, subscribe, because it helps us a lot. If you don't, it's fine. You can always just follow. And when Monza, so this is Imola. Imola is next week. This is Enzo and Dino Ferrari. It's gonna be next week. We're gonna likely race on Monday, maybe on Tuesday. We'll see. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. It means a lot to the channel. We need 1,000 subscribers to make some money with YouTube. But it's up to you. It's really up to you. We have a Discord server as well. We have a few links down in the description. We have a store. I'm not wearing a t-shirt today, but I have a store. There are several ways to help the channel. And one way or another, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot for joining tonight.